One of the funniest things is that, like, people that have a child will say, you don't know love until your first child. My roommate just moved out and I'm in the house by myself. Porn on the surround sound? Yo! What is going on, Juicers? Welcome to episode 103 of the Juicebox Podcast. Oh snap, oh snap, oh snap, Playboy. What's happening, friends? Welcome to another episode. It is your host, All Up in Them Cheeks, Joey. Put some butter on my cheeks and call me Butterbutt. How we living out there, bro? You guys staying safe? You better be, because it's a crazy world up out here. Feel me? Up in these streets of Redwood City, we be popping. Bro, people are still popping fireworks, and that shit's scaring the hell out of me. Because I'm that type of dude that hears fireworks in like February and I'm like, oh my God, I live in the ghetto. It's insane, bro. I'm the same. And then I see like tweets about that shit and they'll be like, motherfuckers be like, oh my God, gunshots. And they live in like one of the widest neighborhoods. Yeah, I live in a nice neighborhood in Redwood City, but I still see kids vaping. Remember what I said last week, bro? These kids are vaping and we got to figure some shit out. You know what I mean? Like, we can't be letting that shit fly. Oh, yeah. Hey, but I'm 26. I can do whatever the hell I want, right? So, we are back at it again with another week and another episode. And we solo riding. However, things are a little bit different now. Okay? Things are different in the Juicebox household. And let me tell you what it is, bro. I currently am living in my house in a 3-bedroom house by myself. And this shit is spooky, okay? It is weird, bro. And I don't know if, like, I thought that I wanted to live by myself for a very long time. But then, the time comes for me to live by myself, and it's so creepy. So, my roommate of 3 years officially moved out, and props to him, super proud of him. Shout out to Frank, moved into a new house that was just built. His own house, bro. Let's go, making big boy moves, dog. I love that shit. But now it's just weird. It's lonely, bro. I couldn't wait for the day where I moved out of this house and got my own place. But now that I'm in here alone, it's like, okay, the loneliness is excruciatingly lonely. Like, it's way more lonely than I thought. And you know me, dude, I'm like a lonely guy usually, right? Like, before I was in a relationship, I was like, oh my God, I only want to be alone ever. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay in my room and talk to myself, right? Like I'm doing right now. But when shit comes to fruition, man, oh my God, bro. It's weird, dude. I'm 26. And I'm officially living alone. Now, I have a second roommate that still technically lives here, but he's never home. So it's just like weird. I think if I move into my own place, there's less real estate for me to be this lonely, right? Like a one bedroom apartment is a lot smaller than what this will be, or than what this is. But bro, I don't know. It's weird. But I'm 26 now. I got to take matters into my own hands. Took the responsibility of the rent here, PG&E, and internet. So I'm like straight up adulting. It's crazy. 26 is really a weird age. Like 26 is an age where your friends are getting engaged, they're getting married, they're having children, buying their own houses, right? But one of the funniest things is that, like, people that have a child will say, you don't know love until your first child. They say that. But listen, my roommate just moved out and I'm in the house by myself. Porn on the surround sound? Yo, that shit is clapping hard. My sub be bussin' when them cheeks are just like, but it's straight bumping, you know what I mean? I had to test it out. Come on, man. Who's not gonna try that, right? Like if you live in a house by yourself, and I had to do it before I moved into my apartment, because if I do porn on the surround sound in an apartment, people are gonna think that I'm just tripping or constantly fucking. So that's just, whatever. But yeah, man. So I'm in the house alone. It's very lonely, and like dude. So get this, right? It's been really spooky, and so yesterday was just a weird fucking day. Like I'm hearing noises, and normally it would be the cats that we had, but Frank took them. So there are no cats here, and I'm hearing noises outside of my room. So I'm like tripping balls, and I'm the only one in the house. So like when it's nighttime, I usually will always have like a scary movie playing before I go to bed. I'm a little bit of a psycho in that regard, but like whatever. So I had a horror movie on, and then I turned my lights off. I literally couldn't watch the movie. I was so spooked. It was wild. I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to the vibe. I'm trying to get used to just being in the house by myself. But I can be as loud as I want, you know? Like I ain't got to worry about my bed squeaking when I'm doing the business, jacking off. So like, you know what I mean? I ain't got to worry about anybody knocking on my door when I'm in the middle of it, or, when I'm recording and the cat's in the fucking background. Don't get me wrong, I am not going to miss the fucking cats, but I'm going to miss my roommate, okay? My first roommate of 3 years. Dude, so he left on a Friday, and he was planning on leaving at whatever time, and I wanted to go to the gym. So I go to the gym, but before I said my goodbyes. I cried in the car on the way to the gym, and then I came back home. Sure enough, they were already gone. But walking into the house, it just felt like obviously things were gone, but it was so strange because there was a lot of things that aren't there anymore. Like our table in the dining room, and like little things in the kitchen and shit. But it felt like the last episode of Friends when Monica's just like takes one last glance at the apartment and everything's just gone. It's not there anymore. Dude, why did I get so sad? It hit me, bro. I hate that, dude. I hate when something happens and you're just like, yeah, I mean, it's sad, but like whatever. But then later it hits you like a fucking dodgeball to the forehead. That shit literally was just boom, 100 miles an hour. I got super sad. I'm getting sad just thinking about it. That was my roommate, bro. Like, what the frick? What the frick? Who driving this bus? What the frick? Dude. Oh my God, I fucking love that TikTok. Dude, if I find it, I'll post it right here on the YouTube.
Who driving this bus? You better mess me up. Better beat you up. The frick.
Oh, dude. That shit's so funny. I said that all throughout my trip in Florida with my sister. We were cracking up. Who driving this bus? The freak. Hell yeah, bro. But anyways, dude, I'm growing up, I got real problems now. It fucking sucks. Dude, we got to talk about the housing market really quick, because if you remember last episode or whenever I came back this year for the first episode of the year, I think I said that this setup right now is officially going to be the last setup of this room, this studio, because my rent went up $1,000 from him moving. So I'm not going to be paying $2,000 a month for this entire house. Like if I'm gonna pay $2,000, I want it to just officially be my place, like my own spot. So I'm gonna be moving out of this place in April, and it's that I'm probably gonna cry. I will literally probably cry when I move out of this house. Dude, I've been like emotional recently. I don't know why. I feel like I started talking about 4 different things, and I need to fucking figure out what I want to talk about first. So maybe I'll remember to talk about crying more. But right now, we got to talk about moving out and into my own place. So, yeah, I'm moving out of this place in April. And, dude, I don't know who the hell is posting these listings on Craigslist, Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, on rental places. Dude, I go on Craigslist to look for a 1-bedroom apartment, and why are they all $3,000 a month for absolute shitholes? Okay? Like, I cannot believe it, dude. And I know this isn't really news. Obviously, this area is very fucking expensive to live. But, like, I found a couple that were, like, in a decent price range. But, dude, it's absolutely so demoralizing and unmotivating. Like, when I went on there and I saw the prices for a lot of the places, I was like, bro, now I would much rather be better living out of the back of my work truck, just like set up a little cot back there. Just in the morning, I just open the sliding door in the van and just fucking get out, do my big ass stretch. Yeah, hell yeah. So I go on Craigslist, and first thing I went on was Craigslist, and that was like, okay, there were some decent places, and I'm just trying to stay on this side of the bay because let's be real, dude, the East Bay is the armpit of the Bay Area. That's a big part of the Bay Area. So I'm not going over there. Fuck that shit. All right. We weren't raised the same. I don't know what it is, but them kids, like, you go up to like any kid in the East Bay and they fucking probably love anime. Like, no, I don't fit in there. I don't fit in. So no, I'm in the market for somewhere on the west side of the Bay. So that's what I'm looking for. And that's a pretty expensive fucking area. So I go on Craigslist, and most of the places are like pretty expensive, but then I find a couple that sound solid. Like, some of these listings sound like good deals. Like, like $1,800 a month for over here is not that bad. Like, it's pretty good for a 1-bedroom apartment. But the problem is there is no fucking photos. If you put a rental property on Craigslist and you have no photos, what are you doing? Are you trying to like not get somebody to rent this place? I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then like other listings will be, like fake renderings of rooms from what they could look like. So I'll see like an apartment in a 12-story building, right? And then the first picture is a totally fake picture with like a really nice view and shit out of the sliding glass door with the deck. And then you scroll to the next picture and it's the real place. And then outside you see someone like you see like a homeless person fucking shitting on the floor or whatever. Dude, I can't. I don't know who's doing these pictures. It makes me so mad. It makes me mad and it makes me unmotivated because like I'm excited to move into my own place, but then I'm also just like stressed about it. And at that point, the podcast is probably going to go on a little bit of a break, maybe like a 2-week break or something. I don't know about that yet, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm currently dealing with, and it should be interesting. So we'll see. But I'm excited, dude. I definitely think it's like I need my own place, and when I move to Texas, I can't fucking wait for that shit. That'll be in a couple of years. Texas, everything is so much better, bro. It's so much better. I don't even need to say it. I keep saying it. I say it every couple episodes, and I fucking mean it. Texas is the best. It's the best. All right. Okay. Got it. All right. Cool. I am getting more emotional recently, and I don't know why. I think it's so weird. And it's not like emotional, like I'm fucking waking up and crying in the morning. Nah. It's like when I watch movies, I get so emotional now. It's so weird. When my roommate moves out, I almost cry. What? How does that work, dude? I don't get it. And quite frankly, it makes me feel like even more beta, right? Dude, I don't know. There's like this whole thing going on TikTok right now. Dude, guys with podcasts are getting so flamed right now on the internet. It is unreal. I'm really trying to stay under the radar with this shit because I don't want anybody coming for me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and here's the thing, rightfully so though. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. I know that I've preached a lot about like girls and shit, but there are guys out there, and my thing was like, Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get too crazy with it cuz like I'm just not. But what I've said before was that like, you know, I would be like responding to a TikTok or something and the guy goes on a date with the girl and then the girl the whole time is talking about how she's a queen and this and that. And then the guy says he'll split the check with her and then she fucking acted like what the hell? Like why wouldn't you pay for this for me? And the guy's like, "Well, you said you're such a bad bitch and you hustle and you're all this and that, so you don't need me to pay for you." And then my whole spiel and I was like, you know, like if you're going to have a big ego like that, then you got to back it up, right? And then this goes into like all this shit where I said like, you know, if look, let me just say this. Me as a guy, I don't deserve anyone's respect. Just me being a guy, I don't deserve anyone's respect. I personally feel that I have to earn respect from people. And that's fine. That's my opinion. And I think that that's absolutely reasonable. And that's how usually most people are. But then, you know, there's people that are just like, well, like there's that how I am, right? That's how I am. But I could also be the polar opposite. And anyone that I meet, just like, hey, you better respect me because I'm me. Okay. And I think that's just the most self-centered shit ever. It doesn't have to do with girls only. It's girls and guys and unidentifieds, you know? So, yeah, like I had my stances on shit and personally the way that I talk about it or that I have talked about it in the past, I probably said a lot of shit that was just like really out there, you know? But the thing is, it's like, that's how I feel though. So I feel like I should say what I feel. I'm not going to lie, right? Do I get a little out of pocket with it? Yeah, but I'm also like just trying to fucking be eccentric about how I am on the podcast. So whatever. But bro, there are like literally guys, I can't remember. I think it's called the Fresh and Fit podcast. And those guys, basically their niche is to mentor guys. First of all, if you are a guy in your early 20s, it doesn't even matter, I guess, and you try to find a mentor on how to do anything with women, to a certain extent, it is way too much of a focus in your life for absolutely nothing. If you are a person that looks to another guy that considers himself an alpha male for dating or women advice, not even dating advice, bro, just women advice, good old fashioned women advice, right? Dude, if you need that, you are worried about the wrong things in life. I'm sorry. Like, okay. Uh-oh. Oh no, he's readjusting. Fuck. All right. Hey, we got to score some points with the ladies. Okay. So I go on TikTok and I see these podcast clips from like the Fresh and Fit pod. And although I think these guys just say way too much shit, like I don't, there are a couple of things that I would kind of agree with them on, but a lot of it is just like, whoa, dude. The way they preach to men is basic, or what they say on the show. And I've never listened to the show, but they were on Andrew Schultz's podcast and I heard them on there. And after listening to them on that podcast, I have no intention on listening to their actual show because I see enough clips on TikTok. They always come up on my TikTok and I never watch the full clip because it's them. And then you guys might have seen it too. Like it'll be them two, the host, the two guys, and then the rest of the table, there's like 6 other girls, and then they're having a discussion. And the guy will say some shit about like how a girl in a relationship, if she has an Instagram, then that's considered cheating, blah, blah, blah. It's so wild, okay? But what they preach to people, or what they claim to preach to people being guys, is that they prepare men for the potential mental and emotional abuse that they could receive from a woman down the line. So basically, it's a fucking masterclass on how to recognize potential emotional damage, right? Dude, Here's the thing, okay? And the whole reason they preach this is to prevent, to help guys get into a crazy relationship where they will eventually get married and then get taken advantage of after they're married and then lose half their shit. So the idea of it is not that bad, but the way that they say things and the way that they portray their beliefs on how all women across the board are is just way too crazy for me. And look, dude, I'm not knocking the content because, dude, they have a huge following, so they're doing something right? I mean, it's just like, it's not my interest in content, but it's just way too much. And I think that it's so funny, like the guys that, bro, I bet you their demographic is like teenagers. Like, bro, you guys are preaching to the wrong choir. You guys are saying you're preaching to guys before marriage so that they can look out for certain things. But your listeners are teenagers. So what the fuck, right? These guys, yeah, they just, they have their opinions on things, and that's fine, bro. Like, literally, these guys having their opinions on how they believe women are, usually, there's a handful of stuff that they say that's like, okay, I can agree with you. And then there's a lot of shit that I'm like, I don't agree with you on this. And that's fine, because you're not supposed to always agree. But the thing with listening to people for a while, and I don't listen to them, but I've seen enough TikToks of theirs. I've seen enough of their clips to know where they really stand. Now, I'm usually always joking, but that's my niche. My niche is I'm here to just fuck around and like talk whatever shit I can get off my chest. Their niche is to, like, they said on the Flagrant podcast that theirs is to like make men more aware of their wellness and their wealth and, whatever, all that. And then also dealing with situations where they can get into a relationship with a woman, or if they do get into a relationship with a woman. And that's fine, but they've made some, and this is coming from me, dude, they've made some pretty distasteful jokes on the podcast that are even like kind of like, whoa, for me. So if you are gonna, and it's okay to joke around every now and then, but like when you're preaching to this choir about what they should be doing with their life, and you switch it up to a point where you start to talk and kind of bash women, that's like not really what you're supposed to do. Because, dude, here's the thing. You could be a guy that's married, right? You could be a guy that's married, and then all of a sudden you're listening to an episode where you think you're going to learn about working out and keeping your money up, right? But then all of a sudden they're talking about why women are actually just fucking shitheads, and they're only gold diggers and this and that. And then your wife hears it from the other room, and then she comes in and she hears it and she beats the fuck out of you because what the fuck are you listening to? Why are you listening to these fucking idiots talking shit about women? I'm a woman. Are you gay? No, you're not, because you married me. But if you are gay after we got married, we're going to have some problems because we got kids now. And you want their kids growing up knowing that their dad's gay? Not that gay is being wrong, but come on now. You signed a contract. We're married. Chill out. So you don't want none of that. You don't want that at all. And I don't know. It's kind of like an all over the place rant about that podcast. But basically what it comes down to is the culture of the internet right now is just absolutely wild. It is. It's crazy, man. And it's not, I mean, the culture of like attacking guys with podcasts. It's so funny to me, bro. It's so funny. And like with me, I make fun of, here's the thing. If you are new to this podcast, I occasionally I get a couple new followers. I just automatically assume that they might tune into an episode and whatever. At this point of the podcast, probably 85% of the stuff that I've said should probably have been taken with a grain of salt, because the whole point is it's supposed to be like a comedy improv, and I'll talk about shit like I'm talking about it now. I just kind of like just roll with a topic and stuff. But when I do an episode, I don't always know what I'm going to talk about. And when I say a joke, that joke usually just comes from the top of my head. Have there been jokes that I've said on here that I probably shouldn't have said? Absolutely. But also, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, it's supposed to be a comedy improv podcast. If I laughed at it after I said it, I don't really give a shit. But also, I'm never that serious. I'm really never that serious. So, you know, if you listen to the show and you disagree with something that I said, that's okay. That's totally okay. I mean, I feel like I'm going to get into the Joe Rogan topic later with the whole Spotify Neil Young situation. But before I do that, why don't we catch up with our girl, Shauna, from the last episode. If you didn't watch, Shauna is a 22-year-old girl trapped in an 8-year-old body. And what we learned on the last episode was that she's a 22-year-old in an 8-year-old body. She was at lunch with her friends vaping, which is fucking hilarious. Dude. And then she was drinking a beer. And then there was another video that I played where her mom was talking about how it's weird that if guys want to date her, that's just a little sus, right? So now in this clip, we're going to see what she's up to.
Blind dates specifically on my end because there's a lot of judgment in people's faces when they first see me. So having it blind, having him not know what I look like, changes it. It makes it a little more real.
By the way, if you didn't catch it, she said blind date, not that he's blind. Oh, no. Oh, dude.
Hi, Shauna. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You don't look like an Abraham.
What do I look like?
All right,
I don't
chill.
know, but not an Abraham.
Well,
Ew.
A hug? You want a hug? Oh,
Yes.
Oh. I don't like hugs. I hate hugs. No one knows how to hug a short person. I legit
I've been hugged
despise
before.
when
She's
people
capping.
try to hug me.
I'm very thankful to be here right now.
I mean, he dealt with it the best way he could, and respect to him for that. Still don't like hugs.
Bro, okay, hold on. Did you hear how when he said his name, she's like, you don't look like an Abraham. First of all, this guy's hog is half of her body size. Okay.
Hi, I'm Shauna.
Hi, Shauna. How you doing?
Good,
I'm
how are
Abraham.
you?
Nice to meet you.
You don't look like an Abraham.
What do I look like?
Ugh.
I don't know, but not an Abraham.
Well,
Attitude, bro.
Hug? You want a hug?
Then she
Yes.
doesn't want to hug. Here's the thing, bro. Like, okay, we get it. She's 22, but you're acting like an 8-year-old and it matches your body. I don't understand. Like, she goes on a blind date because she doesn't want people to judge her or this and that, whatever. Then she comes to the date, meets Abraham, good-looking dude, you know, of the urban descent, and stands up and wants to give her a hug. Ew, you want to hug me? Oh, I don't like hugs. This is crazy. But bro, just imagine you are going on a blind date. Here's the thing. I don't even think, how are blind dates still a thing? You know, I don't know if I mentioned this on another episode, but you can't do blind dates anymore. Okay. People like investigate, right? And, but let's say you do go on a blind date and you are sitting there and this girl walks in. Oh my God. I'd have to tell the people around where I was. I'd be like, hey, this isn't what it looks like, bro. Dude, I'd feel so awkward. How do you not feel awkward? I got props to the guy, and this is obviously a TLC show, so I don't know what the guy knows. She says it's a blind date, but obviously the guy's probably got to have some idea of what he's getting himself into. So if the producers were like, hey, this girl, she wants to go on a date, or somebody sets up a date with them and the guy's like, okay, well, I need to know a little bit about her. And the producer's like, well, here's the thing. She's 22, but she has the body frame of an 8-year-old. And Abraham is just like, sign me up, bro. Oh my God, dude. I can't stand TLC shows, dude. I really can't. They just bother the hell out of me, dude. TLC shows really bother the hell out of me because they just find like the most ridiculous group of people and just put them on blast, you know? the 1,000-pound sisters, where one of them, the fat is just like forming off of her forehead. It's insane. I think one that I can get on board with is like Hoarders or maybe My Strange Addiction. But My Strange Addiction is like just burp. It's too much. It is too much. Oh fuck, I got another burp. I can't handle that. Those TV shows are like some that I just they don't sit right with me, you know? They make me feel uncomfortable, and I don't like to be uncomfortable, you know? Like I am right now. I'm uncomfortable in my chair. This chair fucking sucks. So anyways, yeah, bro. This girl she's kind of like a diva in a way, you know? Like, yeah, she has her own TV show and shit, but I would be low-key bitter. I would be bitter at life. And I feel bad, though, because on the last episode, I didn't know that she has this condition because it was like a side effect to her chemotherapy because she had cancer when she was a kid. And like a side effect, like, screwed up her productive system or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh man, but bro, oh God, like I don't even know how I would act if I was on a date and the girl walked in and she was that small. Like it would just make me so weirded out with myself, and I'd be like, wait, do I like this? I'm just kidding. I don't like that. I don't like 8-year-old body types. Okay, I'm not a MAPS person. Minorly attracted. Wait, what is that? What is that acronym? Minorly attracted. I don't know what that is. The fucking LGBTQ people are trying to defend pedophiles, and that's its own statement that I don't need to elaborate on any further. So that just shows how far removed they are from reality. All right. Now this girl right here, I thought this shit was pretty fucking funny.
Absolutely no one asked for this, but I want to do this anyway. This is going to be things that I thought meant you were rich when I was a kid. Part 1. I don't think there's going to be more parts. Okay, so the first thing was a water dispenser on your fridge. I don't care if you lived in a box. If you had this on your fridge, you were rich. I can't really explain this one, but if you had Dixie cups to rinse out after you brushed your teeth, your family got bread. I don't know why I thought that, but I was like, wow, y'all can really throw out a cup. One use? The next thing is a flat screen TV. I had one of those TVs growing up with the ass, with the thick. So if you had a flat screen, you was the president. I can't really explain this one, but my mom always like, nah, we can't get you these all the time. This was a treat. This was like once every couple of months. If you came to school with these more than once a week, you rich bitch.
Bro, it's so facts. Bro, I had one of those TVs too where that shit would be like twerking with that big ass trunk in the back. You know what I mean? Dude, so I saw that video and I started thinking about when I was a kid, what did I think that people, like, what did I think made people, I'm retarded. What made me think people were rich when I was growing up? Oh my God, I just had an aneurysm. I just left school. Sorry guys, I'm not fully there right now. My brain is dead. I started thinking about it and I came up with some of my own, and then I saw the TikTok comments. And so basically, like, I would go to school in a beat ass car half the time, okay? And some of the cars, because believe me, we had multiple cars and they were all pieces of shit. So, you know, we had a couple hubcaps missing, you know. They weren't cars that had like rims. They're cars that had wheels with hubcaps. So if I saw a person get dropped off in school and their car had all 4 hubcaps, I was like, oh, that person's fucking got cash for days, dude. I really thought that shit. Bro, I used to think about this all the time when I was growing up because like I didn't grow up poor by any means, but you know, like there were some hard times for sure. Don't get me wrong. And then, so that was my first one. My second one was, Dude, I thought that kids were rich when they would go to the doctors during school and then come back with a bag of McDonald's. I always hated that kid because if that was me, I came back to school from the dentist, I'd be like, hey, can we stop at McDonald's? And someone in my family would be like, fuck you, go to school. I gave you a salami sandwich. Okay. That's what would happen. And so I was like, God damn, these fucking white kids got McDonald's for lunch. I was so pissed. Oh my God. I hated life because I never got McDonald's when I went back to school after an appointment. Okay. It was so whack. And here's another one. I used to think, I don't know why I thought this, but when I was a kid growing up, I used to think that like if your parents or if anyone in your family smoked cigarettes, you most likely weren't rich. I don't know why I thought that. But then I grew up and I realized they didn't smoke cigarettes. They were probably doing cocaine. You know what I mean? All these fucking white families and shit. Hey, people would be surprised how many parents do cocaine. Okay, it's wild. All right, don't ask me how I know. I'd be doing some investigation in the bathrooms at bars. All right, so I don't know what it was, man. I always thought that like, I thought that smoking cigarettes was just like a poor people thing to do. And most of my friends didn't have parents that smoked cigarettes. So I was like, oh, well, this must be a fucking rich people thing, right? Oh, they all had nice houses and shit. I don't know. And then, yeah, I remember that was the reason why I never invited friends over, like to any, like anywhere of my, like either of my houses. Well, one house specifically. But because I thought that like if people saw that some of my relatives were like smoking cigarettes, I thought that my friends would be absolutely mortified and then go tell their parents. And then all of a sudden I can't hang out with little Timmy anymore. Okay. So I never invited people over. And then I also never invited people over because I thought that families that cussed a lot were just, you couldn't be around them or you couldn't have your friends around that because they were white kids in perfectly good families that had dinner every night with each other. And then they come to my house and then I like my whole family's cussing 24/7. Like, oh my God, no. They're going to think we are at the bottom of the barrel. No. Can't invite them over, bro. And then you grow up and you realize how fucked up each families are, you know? There's always like one person in the family that causes the drama. There's one that does drugs. There's one that's like the alcoholic. You know, like every family's got it. That's one thing that I realized as I got older. There's always dysfunction in families. No matter how perfect their front is, bro, there is some tea to be spilled, all right? That took me a while to realize, dude. I swear to God, I was so embarrassed for a long time. So embarrassed. And then like you get down to like money, right? And I'm not, like I already said earlier, I didn't grow up poor, but you know, there were like certain things that I didn't have, whatever. And so watching this video was so funny to me, but it reminded me of why I never invited people over to my house. And then a couple more, how you knew what meant you were rich, basically. If I went to a friend's house and they had a cabinet full of snacks, bro, you know I'm coming back, bro. You got 2 boxes of fruit by the foot and Gushers. Hey, dude, I can eat 3 bags at once. Oh my God, dude, this is fucking awesome. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you guys are balling, dude. Or it was either that or like if you went to someone's house as a kid and they had the name brand soda. Like if you go to someone, like I would go to someone's house and they would have actual Dr. Pepper. And then you go to my house and we have actual Mr. Pibb. That shit was so embarrassing, all right? But hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I don't know, man. It was either that or like when you would like go to someone's house and you'd be like, hey, do you guys have any soda or like snacks? They'd be like, yeah, hit the fridge in the garage. What? You guys have redundancy food supplies? Yeah, right. And it's refrigerated? Get out of here, bro. What planet are we on? And I'm like, oh, wait, forgot. We're in San Carlos. You guys got this shit. It comes natural. You're born into this world, bro. That shit was like unreal when I was a kid. And then, you know, just like other things meant you were rich, like having cable and never had to worry about it being cut off or anything. Oh my God, bro. Oh, I hope my parents don't listen to this shit. That'd be so funny. I just get a text from my mom, be like, why are you talking shit about your upbringing, bro? And I'm like, I don't know. Fuck, my bad. I gotta tell it like it is, bro. You know what I mean? I can't be out here lying about shit. I never do that. Oh man. What does this little sweetheart have to say?
Okay, serious question.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ever saw someone do the YMCA?
When was the last time I saw someone do what?
The YMCA.
Oh, do the YMCA?
When was the last time you done that?
Oh.
It's like you don't even care about the YMCA.
No.
It's
So emotional.
it's so insane.
YMCA.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't understand. Okay, that's fucking hilarious, bro. She's getting upset because she asked, when was the last time you actually did the YMCA? And then she gets that emotional about it. Bro, when I got my wisdom teeth out, oh, that was a person who had just gotten their wisdom teeth out, if you're not watching the YouTube, because I know you're not, because my YouTube downloads or my YouTube views are super low. But this girl, she has her wisdom teeth out, and any time there's a wisdom tooth video or any person that like is drugged on whatever the drug is, so funny every time. I don't know why it's funny that much all the time. When I got my wisdom teeth out, I was not funny at all. I think I remember, I don't even know if my dad has the video of it, but I remember being like high as shit. And my dad was like recording me, asking me how I was doing. He was probably so disappointed because like he thought it was going to be funny and then it just wasn't funny. But I remember enough to where I was like sitting on the chair, like dead on the chair, and just being like, dude, I bought these shoes and then I returned them because I realized that I don't need them. That's what I said when I was high as shit after I got my wisdom teeth taken out. That's called financial stability, and I was very conscious of it when I was very high. All right. Oh, man. Oh, dude. How gross is the cleaning process after you get your wisdom teeth pulled out? It's so nasty, bro. So nasty. All right, guys. So I made this TikTok. If you haven't seen it by now, this is what it is.
Girls always say guys that listen to Joe Rogan are a red flag.
2 minutes later.
Do you call him daddy? Do I call her daddy? Call her daddy.
So dumb, dude. So dumb. That's like another segue add-on to what I was talking about earlier, is like the culture towards guys that have podcasts right now is just absolutely getting out of hand. Just all the roasts and shit. And then like, it's so funny though, because like the girls who preach about guys that have podcasts are annoying as fuck, and that's fine, but also men started podcasting and now women are hopping on the podcast bandwagon. So like, what the fuck are you saying? And it's always the girls that talk shit about guys that listen to Joe Rogan, for starters. And then they go listen to Call Her Daddy, as if that's any better, right? At least with Joe Rogan, I can actually get some valuable knowledge. But, dude, so first, before I even talk about Joe Rogan, because I've talked about Joe Rogan before, and I'm never trying to defend him, because obviously that doesn't even matter, because even if needed, he could just defend himself, okay? All it takes is one kick to your chest and you're done. But I just want to share my opinion on the situation going on with him and Spotify and fucking Neil Young and all that. But dude, I sat for a while and really thought about hate culture on the internet. And it really, like, it really doesn't make sense to me. Like nowadays, hate culture is so out of pocket and it blows my mind because most of the time on the internet, people are keeping tabs on other people that they absolutely hate. And this could be about Joe Rogan. This could be about anybody on the internet, right? Like if you have a celebrity that you absolutely despise or a person that you just hate and you keep tabs on them, you are your own problem to yourself because they most likely don't know who you are. So to keep tabs on someone that you hate, you are purposely creating anger within yourself for absolutely no reason other than to just want to be mad. And that makes no sense to me. Like if I see people on the internet that I don't like, there's people on TikTok that I absolutely despise. And I don't comment any hate. I just block the person so that I never have to see them again. Other people who want to be upset about something constantly every single day, they'll follow the person that they don't like. And then when a video comes out, they go comment on it and just spread the hate. Now, look, I'm not going to be cliche about you guys need to spread the love, you know, this and that, be nice to each other. Although I do agree with that. And I'm a person that wants to just, at the end of the day, make people laugh. Of course, I'm going to annoy people. I've come to terms with being a guy on the internet that is going to annoy a lot of people. I've come to terms with that. And the reality behind that is you're never going to make everyone happy with what you do. And that's fine. Like, that's something that you learn to just live with. At first, I wanted to be a guy that everyone liked and got along with. And when I meet people in person, that's all I do is get along with people. But people don't like me for whatever reason. They don't like me. They don't like my podcast. So that means that they don't like me. That's just how it is. And I'm sure, dude, I'm almost positive there are people who watch my clips and share my clips to their friends and then they talk shit about it. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. That's fine. But the thing is, people who don't like me and then share my clips to their friends to talk shit about me, I've already won at that point. And everyone else who posts content and then gets shared by people who hate them, they've already won because you are just talking about them. They are the topic of discussion with you when you hate them. And we on the other end aren't even thinking about you. That's the best part. And I just don't see the value. And it's not even in terms of I want people to spread positivity and just always be nice. Of course, that would be good, but it's more of just not making sense that that's how people want to live their life, you know? Like, just, if you're not this person, just think about this for a second. If you are a person that follows, let's just say 10 people, and those 10 people you absolutely hate, and when they post something, you get a notification that the person that you hate posted something. Then you can go comment some annoying ass thing on their post and then do like a fucking little happy dance. I showed this fucker. You probably didn't, but just think about a person that does that, right? Like, how unhappy with yourself do you gotta be? It doesn't make any sense to me. And that's really what it is. It's really what it comes down to. Like, that's the kind of person. They're just so unhappy with themselves. And there's a difference, right? I said earlier, I talk shit about a lot of people. I talk shit about not a lot of people, but I talk shit about a lot of groups of people. But here's the thing. I talk so much shit about myself, way more than I do about other groups of people, which are wholeheartedly just joking around. Like, I'm never making like a racist comment about something. It's always a joke. Now, is it like riding along the border of racism if people want to describe it that way? You can, but that's totally not the intent. So whatever the fuck that means. But when people live their life like that, it really just makes me lose a lot of faith in the way that we progress as humans. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And of course, people are going to say things to each other that causes, a fight, and you're going to disagree and whatever. Or you're going to be just some guy who sees a Joe Rogan clip and you hate something that he says, but you got to keep tabs on him for whatever reason. Not just him, but anybody else. You need to go outside and get some sunlight, okay? You just have to. How do you, that's so unhealthy. It's like, it's more unhealthy than being a person that is 600 pounds. At the end of the day, I believe that. I really do. If you constantly go on the internet solely to bash people, it blows my mind that you live with yourself that way. It's crazy. It's absolutely wild to me. I don't understand how people live like that. So, if Joe Rogan with that situation, right? For whatever reason, I am getting just so many posts on my Twitter, and I interacted with 4 tweets initially. I liked the tweets for other comics defending him. And then out of nowhere is just flooded with people defending Joe Rogan on my Twitter timeline. And here's the thing, bro. I obviously like Joe Rogan, but I like his podcast because it's very informative. And the reason that I think this whole situation was blown out of proportion is because obviously with the whole thing with the 270 people signed a petition to take down the episodes for COVID misinformation, right? This fucking episode might get deleted because Andrew Schultz's episode got deleted for people talking about this. But whatever. It probably won't because it'll get 7 views, but it's all good. The whole thing started with this 270 group of people that signed a petition to remove his episodes because of COVID misinformation. Turns out 80 of them were actual doctors. And then, you got all the news outlets talking shit about how he's just a guy that is spreading misinformation constantly. But you guys got to understand that if you're removed from anything involving Joe Rogan, and you don't really know about him or you don't care about him, that's fine, dude. That's totally fine. But as a person who's done my due diligence, I was thinking about this today with somebody else too. I've listened to so much of his podcast. I might have even mentioned this earlier. When you listen to somebody for so long, you really do pick up when they're joking and when they're serious and when you agree with them and when you don't agree with them, you can have a real big fanboy that's just a yes man to everything that somebody says. No, he's said plenty of shit that I absolutely disagree with. And I still like him because I like his open-mindedness. And that's one of the biggest values that I kind of took from his show. It's very important now for me to be open-minded when I have discussions with people about anything. I always want to see their perspective if we have opposing opinions. That's very important to me. And it should be important to everybody. And another thing that he preaches is don't be married to your ideas. And that's so huge to understand when you talk about when you talk about scenarios like whether his podcast promotes COVID misinformation or not, or anything involving anything, really. So people are under the impression that we are obsessed with this podcast or we love his podcast because of him only. No, that's not true. It's just not. After listening to him for years, I do like him as a comedian. I do like him as a podcast host, as an interviewer especially, because the people that he has on is what's entertaining in the show. I know where Rogan stands politically in the sense that he's been painting it the last couple months, but I've always known him to be left-leaning. He's always been left-leaning. And then over the pandemic, he's worked his way over to the middle a little bit and kind of now veering off to the right. But that's just as a result to how everything is going with media and with COVID so far. So I see his perspective on a lot of that shit, and I get it, but I don't like him just for him. He has people on his podcast that can give some very insightful information, not to just COVID, to everything. Fitness. Fucking... Dude, I listened to a 4-hour episode with Brett Weinstein talking about quantum physics. I have no idea what it is, but it's just interesting to listen to it. At least for me it is. So I listened to the whole episode because it's just something different that I can just sit and like kind of zone out on and just fucking maybe learn a thing or two about quantum physics. Could I tell you guys something about quantum physics right now? Absolutely not. That was 2 years ago. And even if it was yesterday, still wouldn't be able to, okay? But I just think that the whole thing has been blown out of proportion. And one of the things that really just made me remember and realize why like I actually do like him as a person is because he did an announcement video, or not an announcement video, but he responded to all of the controversy in a 9-minute video on Instagram. And here's the thing, like if you don't really care about him, that's fine. If you don't like him, that's also fine. You know, you're able to like or not like whoever you don't want to. So the thing with him is that for somebody getting so much backlash for having two very credible doctors on the podcast sharing their opinions on what's going on, to come back and post a 9-minute video in one take where he shows absolute no bitterness to anybody, especially Neil Young, because that's what this whole thing fucking started over. Or it was like one of the biggest things. That just goes to show you, like, he's just a guy, man. He's just a human that had no intention of fucking having a podcast blow up as big as it has. And he holds himself accountable when he's wrong. Dude, he was wrong about one COVID statistic with Josh Zepps. And even he tweeted the fucking clip. And he was like, if there was going to be one person that proved me wrong during the show, I would hope that it would be Josh Zepps or whatever, something like that. And also, you got to realize too, like, it's so easy to cut out a section of a podcast in post that you don't want in the episode, that he could have just done that. But he's not afraid to be wrong, and a lot of people are. And that's just, it's ridiculous, man. So, the whole Neil Young thing, dude, don't get me wrong, bro. I love classic rock. If I never heard a Neil Young song again later on in life, I would be totally fine. I just would be totally fine, you know? And then he removes his music from Spotify because of the COVID misinfo that's being spread on Spotify, and then just moves his music over to Amazon as if Amazon has never done any wrong. Right, got it. It's so fucking stupid, man. It's absolutely so dumb. But yeah, I think that this whole... See, the problem is this doesn't have to be about Rogan, what I'm about to say, but it has to do with censorship in this country now. Like, there was a time that we could just say stuff, and if you said it a certain way, most people would know that you didn't mean it, right? Like, people would understand that you were joking about whatever it is you said. We are in a time where you can't say shit. You can't even give your opinion on something without somebody disagreeing with you, and then they just attack you immediately. We've skipped the part where you have a conversation on why your opinions are different. We've just skipped that. And it's not even everyone. It's a certain group of people who know who they are, and they just have like this radicalized opinion on whatever it is, and one person has a different opinion than them. Oh, that person's automatically my enemy. That's just what it is. You've skipped the part where you try to find the middle ground, or you try to see the other person's side. And that is just not okay. And it gets to a point, and it's not even that it gets to a point. It has gotten to a point where people can't even share their own opinions on things anymore. Like, how out of touch are we? You know? It's so crazy. Like, half the shit that I say on this podcast, I'll share my opinion, and not that this happens, but like, I'm sure there's people that disagree with a lot of things that I say. Whoever listens to the show, like, I'm sure there is at least something that I've said that you didn't agree with, and that's fine. But the world right now is at its most fragile state that it's been in kind of a long time. And I think that it's super dangerous that we have the potential to be censored by anybody at any given moment. It's so crazy. It's not okay. It's not what the country was built on, brother. I'll tell you that right now. Our founding fathers did not sign that piece of paper with a feather for a person with purple hair to tell me what I can and can't say. You hear me? Fuck you. God damn it, gotta get my ass down on over to Texas. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, man. It makes it hard. It makes it hard for sure. And here's the thing, bro. Like, obviously this isn't the biggest podcast, and that's fine. Like, I'm totally content with people who listen. Like, it makes me happy that people still listen to the show. But for a podcast like this, where I joke about a lot of stuff that's like, that can be hot in the pop culture, you know, like it could be trending, and, you know, it could be a sensitive subject, and I make a joke about it. It's dangerous because I can get in trouble for saying something, which is crazy. And that's the thing, though. It's not like I'm not supposed to be held accountable when I say something that's totally crazy, but I don't think I say stuff that's totally crazy. Like, I think where you draw the line is when you make a racist comment. Like, that's really where it gets, like, that's where I should be held accountable. Not just me, but like anybody, you know, like if I share an opinion on transgender people, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just going to preface this with saying I don't have a problem with transgender people. I don't. But if I make a joke about it, that's just me making a joke. I have no problem with transgender people. I have a problem with people forcing their pronouns on me when, how am I supposed to know that you want to be addressed with these pronouns? I've never met you before. Your name is Steven. I'm going to assume you go by he, him. You know what I mean? I don't know. But then you get attitude when you refer to them as the wrong fucking pronoun. And it's like, bro, is this really what you want to be mad over? And it's so dumb when, like, dude, I've seen clips of this on TikTok, bro. Like, it's a guy and he'll be like, hi, literally, like, not exactly, but he'll be like, hi, my name is Steven. He, him. If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, hey, what's up, Steven? You also didn't need to tell me that second part because I already knew that just from looking at you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can say something like that and someone would take it the wrong way and then I get canceled for saying some dumb shit. But that's just the point. I'm saying just dumb shit. Like, it's not supposed to offend people. But obviously, you know, a lot of stuff isn't supposed to offend people, and a lot of people have been getting canceled for it. So I don't know, man. Whatever. It's a lot to deal with these days. But that's the problem with having like a podcast, is you kind of have to stay on social media. And dude, I've wanted to get off social media for a long time. I really have. And it's just hard because I want to stay in the loop on stuff. Like if I were to like deactivate my Instagram account, I miss out on shit that I could talk about. And then like Twitter gives me a lot of shit to talk about and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man. I really would like to take a break from social media for a while, just because it gets to be too much. I've found myself in so many Twitter threads about Joe Rogan and Neil Young. And I don't tweet at people. Like, I don't fucking, dude, the thing is like, if you are on the internet and you find yourself in a Twitter feed of people going back and forth with just dumbass arguments, do not enter it, because once you make a statement to a person who doesn't see things the way you do, you're never going to get your point across to them. Burp. Let me try that again. If you find yourself in a Twitter feed of people arguing over a specific topic, don't ever insert yourself into it, because you will never in a million years with 200 and something characters convince that person to change over to your side. It's never going to happen. It's such a waste of time. It's such a waste of energy. And I had to stop doing that. I stopped doing that a while ago. Like, I won't argue with people on the internet anymore. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's such a waste of time. And I don't want to be that person that's just like constantly trying to pick fights with people on the internet. You shouldn't want to be doing that. There's two things that you shouldn't do in the world. Earlier, I said the Fresh and Fit podcast. The two things that you probably shouldn't do are seek alpha advice from guys with a podcast. I'm a guy with a podcast, but I don't give alpha advice because I don't think I'm an alpha. What the fuck? Don't seek alpha advice, and don't go on Twitter trying to change someone's mind about a topic that they seem so passionate about, because it's never going to happen. Oh my God, it's never going to happen. People are just so hard-headed these days, and not the right hard-headed, you know? Hard-headed back in the day meant that you weren't going to take any shit, and like, I don't know, whatever the fuck it meant back in the day, dude. My brain's already fried right now. But there's a difference between how people see things from now versus then. And obviously, you know, back in the day, they made fucking Tropic Thunder. You can't make Tropic Thunder now. Hell no, bro. And if they did, they'd have to throw in like 3 gay couples in it. God. Everything's so soft. People are so soft. People are fucking pussies, bro. That's it. That's all I gotta say is I'll just end this episode saying that people these days are absolutely fucking pussies. They are. Am I one of them? Yeah. You know? See, that's the strategy. That's really what it comes down to, is if actually the better way to do it is to make fun of yourself first so that people know that you can talk shit about yourself, and then you make the joke about a specific group, right? So, whatever. I was kind of ranty on this, ranty mode on this episode, bro. I've been a little flustered and stressed, so I felt like I needed to get out some anger, right? But yeah, bro, I'm 26, man. I'm 26 and I still beat off regularly. That's fine. That's totally fine. Dude, one thing also, let's circle back to the beginning of the episode about renting a place, bro. What pisses me off the most is that I'm most likely going to have to move into a place and use quarters to wash my clothes. Oh my God, bro. Are you kidding me? Bro, how are people changing their genders now, but I still got to use quarters to wash my clothes? What? Get a card swiper, all right? Oh my God, man. I can't believe it, bro. It makes me so mad that I have to move, but also, you know, it's for the best. And I don't know. I'm growing up, man. I'm about to be 30. I ain't got no kids yet. I wonder when I'm gonna start having some kids, bro. I don't know. I don't want to think about that. Would I be a good dad? I don't know. Probably not. Shit, guys. I love y'all. Thanks for listening to the rants. I'll catch you guys next week. Later.